Did you see the comments from Deontay Wilder yesterday?
No, what, on the Boxing Voice?
Yes.
It's like he goes on this little channel. That's about all the media he can do these days on the Boxing Voice. I mean...
Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
ThaBoxingvoice.com. I feel I'm the best in the sport. And ThaBoxingvoice.com. To be one champion, one face, one name. His name's Deontay Wilder. ThaBoxingvoice.com.
It's the fact that I've been on it for a long time.
110%. There's no doubt in my mind that fight will happen. There's no doubt in my mind I'll beat Wilder as well.
I'm scaring heavyweights each and every time. Don't you see it? You know, I am the most feared. And if I'm not, then I want somebody to shut me up. I want somebody to prove that to me. I want to be proven wrong. Right now, I don't feel like
I want to be proven wrong. I want to be proven wrong. Good morning, TBV. Good morning, boxing world. Good morning, fight fans. We're back with another TBV in the morning. Get your cups of coffee. I got mine. Here we go. Got my little monkey cup of coffee. Ready to talk some boxing with you guys. And yeah, man, ready to have a great time. We've got some great news. Eddie Hearn has already responded to Deontay Wilder's Instagram posts, you know, so things are looking good. They really, really are. But I want to see, could I find a little soundbite from my man, AJ. Where are you, AJ? Where are you?
Deal with this behind closed doors, because a lot of negotiations can go on over social media and YouTube channels and stuff. But
well, seems like today's news that I'm reporting will be Eddie Hearn directly responding to social media. He will use the words Deontay Wilder's social media. I think that we need to stop with this logic that social media isn't powerful. Because of Instagram, Twitter, and whatever other forms these celebrities choose to use, things can't go unnoticed. We'll find out today that Eddie Hearn says Deontay Wilder had this contract, or this offer, excuse me, for about 4 weeks. 4 weeks now. So that is interesting. But before we get back to the details, because we are discussing this breaking news. I know I don't have the same excitement as yesterday, but that's because I have some audio to play. But we are discussing breaking news, and the breaking news is that Eddie Hearn has already responded to Deontay Wilder's social media posts. He's spoken with Sky Sports. We have audio. He says he will be sending the contract to Anthony for the Anthony Joshua fight to Deontay Wilder this week. So us as boxing fans, we're happy. We're happy. You know, this is what we wanted. Seems like we're getting it. But are we? Are we? I don't know. Jonathan Finch says it sounds promising. I'm going to say I'm not 100% sure due to the 4-minute audio clip that we have of Eddie Hearn. We'll obviously have to pause it throughout, kind of decipher it as we go so that the audio clip doesn't, you know, get us flagged. You know, you don't want to play someone's content straight through. But we will discuss it in sentences. Hopefully you can keep up. Because I don't know. I don't know if it sounds promising, Jonathan. I just don't know. Good morning, Dr. Mofongo. Rob in the UK. What's up? Sir Cryptus Prime. What up? Or Cryptimus Prime. Excuse me. Eddie Hearn What up, baby? You know you can Skype us, Eddie. You know how to do. What's going on? Hope everybody's got their coffee and the J's in the AM. Know what I'm saying? Get right. So, I'm happy. Things are moving along. But as my associate producer sent me this piece of content, I don't know if I feel the same way. I just don't know if I feel the same way after hearing. Actually, after hearing this, I might be feeling a la Kanye. I might just be feeling.
I be feeling. I got feelings, bro. I be feeling away, bro. I be feeling away.
I be feeling away. This audio is a bit cryptic. It's a bit, cryptic. It's a bit deceiving. It's open for interpretation, and that's what I don't like. But the facts are that Deontay Wilder will be sent a contract for the Anthony Joshua fight this week, and that's coming from Anthony Joshua's promoter, Eddie Hearn. Let's go to the audio.
No, I've not been in a meeting. I spoke to AJ and Rob McCracken this morning, and obviously we saw Deontay Wilder's stuff on social media last night again, and it's great that he's come back to us. We made this offer about 4 weeks.
Just want to pause right there and reiterate that he says, we saw Deontay Wilder's stuff on social media, and it's great that he's come back to us. You know, just pointing out the direct contradiction that my good friend Anthony Joshua likes to use.
Deal with this behind closed doors, because a lot of negotiations can go on over social media and YouTube channels and stuff, but
stuff like that. So let's keep it moving.
I don't know whether he's come back because he's heard we're close to closing the Povetkin fight, or whether he actually wants to fight. But either way, he's going to be getting a contract from us ASAP. It's obviously the fight we want. There's a lot of sorting out to do for this fight, but great news that in principle.
I want to pause it right there. He says there's a lot of sorting out to do for this fight. So I just want you to ask yourself that question. What else would be needed to be figured out? What wouldn't have been sent in those initial terms? You know, you don't want to leave anything too big out of those initial terms, because that could obviously cause a person to change their mind, you know? So hopefully the contract is just an extension of what was already agreed upon, and we can get a signed contract this week.
He seems to be on board for the idea of coming to the UK for the fight. So we're going to be dealing with that and making sure that he gets the relevant paperwork as soon as possible.
So how much does there still need to be sorted? What do you need to go through? Explain it to us.
I just want to credit I don't want to even call him a reporter, because he's obviously in studio for Sky. I'm sure one of our UK listeners are familiar with The Voice. But I want to credit him for digging deeper and asking, what exactly do we need to sort out? I thought that's what was sent in your offer to Deontay, which is a lower offer than he offered AJ. You know, it's for a fight in the UK. And I do want to emphasize that Eddie made it clear that Deontay has had this offer for 4 weeks. 4 weeks. But obviously, AJ has had his $50 million offer for however long that has been.
Quite a bit. I mean, you know, the terms of the deal seems to be accepted by Deontay Wilder, which is great news. And now we'll send the contract. Not looking to be difficult in the contract, but again.
Now, that Sentence had me optimistic. He says, we're not looking to be difficult in the contract. So it has me a bit optimistic, but we'll have to keep listening.
Seems to do a lot of talking on social media, and we'll see whether it's bluster or whether he, knows that the Povetkin fight is in the balance, because it's taken him 4 weeks to come back to us. But certainly if he does want to fight Anthony Joshua and he does accept the deal, then we want to try and get that booked in as soon as possible.
Now, I just asked myself, is that just A-side bravado? Because you have a guy who used social media to tell his fans that he's accepted your offer. He sent you a formal email. His manager sent you a formal email accepting the offer, yet you're on a platform saying, kind of the opposite of that. And saying that, Wilder talks and we'll see if he really wants it. And continuously bringing up Alexander Povetkin. This is now the second time he's brought up Alexander Povetkin in this interview, and it's only a minute in.
And we have to speak to the venues and American TV and try and get this up and running. So we'll find out the truth in the next week or so once the paperwork's in front of him.
Okay.
My question to you guys who, we're boxing degenerates. We live, breathe boxing. Do we have to find out if it's true? Do we think that Deontay Wilder hasn't accepted the terms? I don't understand why there's always so much hesitance and assumption from the side of Eddie Hearn, not Anthony Joshua. Obviously, Eddie Hearn is the mouthpiece for Anthony. He says the right things. But when the first $50 million offer went out, oh, we need proof of funds. There's like never, I don't know. I guess there is no, no fairness in business, but it just strikes me as strange, odd that the promoter who will be lead for the biggest fight of the last 20 years continuously tries to make it seem like the B side could be bluffing. His words in this interview. We'll see if he's bluffing or not.
I've got to pick the bones out of that one. First of all, you said the venues. Is it UK or nowhere as far as you're concerned?
Definitely Anthony Joshua wants to do this fight in the UK. Obviously we've had some great nights with Pitchko and Takam and Parker, and he wants to make sure that this history-making fight takes part in the UK. I think from Deontay Wilder's messages on social media, he seems fine with that. We are, like I said, he took nearly 4 weeks to come back to us on our offer, so we've missed a little bit of time on the venues that we want to be in. We see this as a Wembley fight, and we're quite...
I have an issue with that, continuously saying that he took 4 weeks. I mean, did Anthony Joshua not take equally as much time, if not more, because he's yet to respond to the $50 million offer that he asks for? So there's two offers. Two people waiting for the other to accept the offer that was sent to one another. I don't see how we push the ball in anyone's court. It's simply about the A side deciding whether he wants to fight in the US or the UK, because he's the A side. So I don't really think Wilder sat on an offer for 4 weeks. I think Wilder had your offer and simultaneously sent you one. Both parties waiting for a response.
In that respect, obviously, it's American TV and pay-per-view has to be considered, so we've got to speak to them about what date suits them. There's a lot to still work out, but certainly if he is real, then this is good news for the Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder fight. And now we move to put everything in place and make sure we can maximise the revenues of where this will be and when this will be, and hopefully get him to sign a contract.
Am I right in thinking?
Get him to sign a contract. The man that just verbally accepted less money. I don't get the narrative of Eddie Hearn continuously trying to act as if Wilder doesn't want this fight. Let's go through the facts. Facts are he's agreed to the terms formally via email, verbally, via Instagram, and a secondary formal email via his manager. Let's continue with the facts. The narrative that Wilder doesn't want this fight, yet he's agreed to go to enemy territory. Why? Because he has to. Anthony Joshua is rightfully the A side. As Eddie Hearn has mentioned numerous times, they've laid down the groundwork. They got all the hardware. That's what you do. You bring him to your court. Cool. Wilder's going. Not showing any fear there. Why wouldn't he want to fight? He's going. Now you're offering him a little bit of money. Okay. He's still going over there. He's still accepting that little bit of money. This narrative about him, well, let's see if he signs. Let's see if we actually get this fight. He's obviously taking everything that you're giving him. The straw, there should have been the camel, there should have been that broke the straw. That should have broke the camel's back was no percentage for the B side. Pacquiao got a percentage in his B side to Mayweather. Canelo got a percentage in his B side to Mayweather. Mayweather got a percentage in his B side to Oscar. Hopkins got a B side percentage to his Oscar, right? Like it's just crazy. Pacquiao got a percentage to Oscar. Cotto got a percentage to Pacquiao. Like Martinez, it just goes on and on. What Wilder is accepting is basically unheard of. I'm not a historian. I'm fairly young. So if anyone can give me a big fight, a fight of this magnitude, let's not bring up, Robert Easter, Richard Comey, some shit like that. A fight of this magnitude, if you can give me a fight of this magnitude where the B side received a flat fee, then call me crazy. But until then, I've never heard of this. And that just shows a man on a mission. It shows a man that is willing to accept whatever he has to accept to dance with the devil in a pale moonlight. So for this narrative to continue that he doesn't want this fight after conceding and being submissive to all these terms, I don't understand. I just don't understand that logic.
Kim, we were speaking to Adam Smith a little earlier that September might be too soon and therefore Wembley perhaps is out. So it's looking like Cardiff, if it is going to be this year.
Well, I think Wembley is where Anthony Joshua wants this to take place. Obviously, a brilliant night against Vladimir Klitschko, and it seems the natural home. Our original plan and hopes was to do it in the middle of September, but obviously with Canelo fighting on September the 15th makes it a little bit more difficult with US TV. And the fact that we've lost 4 weeks in waiting for an answer from Deontay Wilder makes a fight happening in 11 or 12.
I get Eddie, saying that 11, 12 weeks is not big enough for this promotion. But 11 to 12 weeks is 3 months, 90 days. 90 days. Now, outside of him claiming 90 days isn't enough, no one's going against Canelo. Not Anthony Joshua, not anybody. Not against Canelo. September, the only one that went against Canelo was Mayweather, and you've seen what sort of fiasco that had been. And even Mayweather numbers dipped by 100 or a couple of 100,000. Showtime, started to get funny with the releasing of the numbers. The Robert Guerrero numbers, they were like two separates. He alleged it 1 million and he alleged it like 925,000. You don't want to have competing venues, competing productions, but I think we all know what's the bigger pay-per-view. I love Canelo and Gennady. Big drama show. I do. But let's stop playing. The true drama show of this decade is Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder.
Big drama show.
Weeks of this magnitude, unlikely. So I think if it is before Povetkin, then it runs on October, November. But we have to just make sure that obviously we've made a.
Now I don't want to let that go by, you guys, without you hearing that. He said, if, even the way he pitched on the word if it is before Povetkin. I'm just not sure, just because Deontay agreed to the terms that we may have this fight. It could still be a 2-fight deal. Everything could be agreed upon, but they say, let us take care of the mandatory first. And at the end of the day, that would be okay for me, because it would be no different than the Alexander Brand, Sullivan Barrera, then Andre Ward deal. You know, Sullivan Barrera and Alexander Brand both faced Andre Ward, and then Andre Ward faced Sergey Kovalev the way that we wanted. So I'm okay with those types of deals. I'm a fair guy. I am a fair guy. You know what? I'm so fair that I forgot to remind you that as you come into the live stream, it would be a great way for you to say good morning by hitting that thumbs up button. If it's gray, we would like you to turn it blue or black. Hook us up. Going back to the audio.
Progress with Povetkin as well. He's our WBA mandatory. But this has all come as a bit of a shock to us, really, that finally he's come back to us on the offer and seems to accept the terms. So now we have to find.
You want to know why it's a shock? Because they didn't expect him to take this, and I'll use the new term floating around, slave contract, no back-end percentage, flat fee. Remember when Mayweather offered Manny Pacquiao $40 million flat fee, which is not the number that they're offering Deontay. It's somewhere between 15, which was the last public offer, and let's assume 20, right? Let's give a $5 million cushion. Now, you know, $5 million is a lot, so it could be as high as, 16.5 for all we know. We just don't know. What we know is that there was two verbal offers, two public offers, 12.5 the first one, 15 million the second one. But for this fight, the one that everyone's excited for, there's no back-end pay-per-view money. Not for Deontay Wilder. And you got to go to enemy territory. Eddie spoke about Deontay's $50 million offer being attached to ridiculous terms. He said, we need to know. We need to see proof of funds. We need to know what are the terms. Because what if he wants Anthony Joshua to do a 13-city press tour in pink panties? I wonder what those terms are now. Eddie is good at what he does for sure.
Yeah, if it's bluster or if it's real, I believe he wants to fight. And we have to go through the process again now of the dates, the American TV, and try and find a position that's acceptable to everybody.
Well, Eddie, so much going on. Just very, very briefly, Povetkin, where does that leave it now then? What's your gut feeling?
I mean, we've been working hard on that September Povetkin fight because, like I said, Wilder hasn't come back. So there was news that the Povetkin-Joshua fight was signed.
I'm just going to say, this is perfect. This is a perfect way for Eddie to prolong this, AJ to still get his Wilder fight in 2019 and get everything their way. Now, I wish I had my UK guy. I hope you're listening, Rob. I need your answer ASAP. What's the soonest in 2019 they could use the Wembley Stadium, which is the open arena, the bigger arena as well? Because if you squeeze in Povetkin in September, then there's no open arena for Wembley, right? And you already heard the groundwork Eddie laid in this interview saying Anthony really wants it in Wembley because of the Vladimir Klitschko fight and the Takam and whatever, right? So can they possibly push this till 2019 due to the Povetkin mandatory? They already got a signed contract from Povetkin. They blame it on Wilder and say, he had this offer for 4 weeks. 4 weeks. In the meantime, I got to promote Anthony Joshua. I got to do what I got to do. We got to move the ball along. We got a signed contract from Povetkin. Then Wilder sends a verbal offer. Terms weren't truly agreed. Whatever the case may be. I mean, there's a way to get out of this for at least the Povetkin fight is my point.
And agreed last week. And I don't know whether Wilder's come back after hearing that news. So we've got to get to the bottom of it all.
And that's the end of it. And he says, you know, he doesn't know if whether or not Wilder's coming back and accepting the deal that was offered 4 weeks ago because he heard that the news of Povetkin is done. The bottom line is this. Anthony Joshua has always had options, and this interview proves that. He has obviously a option with Alexander Povetkin, which we all know could get him anywhere between 15 to 20 million. And he has the option to go with Wilder that'll probably make him more money than that. And I'm being told that 2019's earliest, because of the weather, maybe March, April. So I don't know. That doesn't sound right. When's the last time there's been a big fight? March, April. Oh, wait. I think AJ fought in March. Right? I think, yeah, because AJ and Deontay fought in March. So I guess we shall see. But I'm going to go ahead and take some callers and then wrap it up. Just wanted to report on this. I mean, this news was breaking, came out early this morning for us here on the East Coast. It's still bright and early, 8 a.m. I hope you guys are on your way to work. It's a beautiful day out. I will be getting my run in a bit, even though it's a bit chilly today. It's like 58 degrees. No clue why. Maybe it's still too early. But it says it's going to be full of sun, so you guys should be enjoying your day. Let's check out some of our regulars here. In Los Angeles, wow, look at that. Los Angeles still freaking nighttime, and you guys got 63-degree weather. Talk about it. We get a lot of Florida, too. They're doing well. 75 already. Long Beach, 64. Vegas is fucking hot already, bro. 78 degrees. Dallas, Cruz, good morning. 79 for Dallas. They cooking eggs on the sidewalk over there. Home of Keith Thurman, Clearwater is 80 degrees. Looks like we got our co-host calling in here. Live on the ground in the UK. Talk to me. Oh, wait a minute. There you go. And let me just properly introduce anyway, right?
Dollar D Biasi Productions.
BJ was gonna beat me, then yeah, you predict he's gonna be. He got smashed.
Why isn't Wilder sold out 90,000? This guy has been pro for like 8 years, 9 years. If Wilder wants some of this work, you can definitely get it on ASAP.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Hey Nez, how you doing?
All good. Really quick, check out Rick Fulton with the morning super chat. Thanks for the cup of coffees, Rick. He says Joshua just wants a fight in Wembley because he wants to be laid down where the hype train began. Bomb squad.
Well, at least he got paid to say that ridiculous comment. Yeah, Nez, you're trying to find a little bit of negativity in a contract getting sent as soon as possible. I don't want to hear it. We're looking like it's getting closer and closer and closer. And if it is Povetkin first,
so wait a minute. So you don't hear anything there?
Look,
it's
Eddie Hearn.
The consistent mention of Alexander Povetkin doesn't have you as worried as I.
What is regards in it happening next?
Exactly. Instead of Wilder Joshua next, I feel like, he could pull a little rabbit out the hat and say, "Oh, we got to do Povetkin. We had a signed contract. It's a mandatory. We'll focus. This fight deserves big promotion, not 90 days. We need 40. We need 120 days. We need one extra month to promote this properly."
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but numerous times we've said on the show, go ahead and fight Povetkin as long as we know we've got Wilder next.
And I just said that now. I just said it. I just said I'm still cool with the Alexander Brand and Sullivan Barrera deal, but I got to call a spade a spade. And it's what I've been saying. The same reason I'm being called biased, all my bias is coming true. I said the fight wouldn't happen. It's still not happening.
Yeah,
I said he wasn't afraid. He's showing he's not afraid. I said he would go to the UK. He's willing to go to the UK.
Yeah, Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah. It's all good. I'm still, you know me, glass half full. I still think it might be Wilder next. They can put off the Povetkin. But the only issue is, I think the venue. If AJ is dead set on Wembley, then obviously November isn't the greatest weather to come to the UK in. And although Wembley, I asked some guys in the chat. I was under the impression Wembley did have a roof, but it's not a completely doesn't completely cover the pitch. So obviously the ring would be under it. It just kind of protects the people in the seats. It kind of extends rather than covers the entire pitch. So Cardiff would be the only one, but obviously AJ wants to be in London. But I'm just excited that suddenly this, like, obviously I was asleep last night. I was pissed that I missed that show last night. The Wilder agrees to the terms, and then this morning we're hearing the contract's going to get sent. I'm just excited. We're getting closer to the big fight. Well, like you said, whether it's next or not, I'm kind of not that worried about it. But because I don't see Povetkin causing an issue for AJ and, you know, putting a spanner in the works for this fight. Yeah, I just think we should be a bit excited about it, and it looks like it's coming together. Obviously, I heard you last night on the show. I listened back this morning. You mentioned that I'll try and find a venue for you to come over and do a live show. I'll definitely get to work on that as soon as we get an announcement.
I was just thinking it would be better for us to do something, because I'll be honest with you. Even though we got extremely lucky, I'll say that first. For Anthony Joshua versus Joseph Parker, the Boxing Voice got 3 credentials. Yeah. But I'm not going to get excited about that and believe that the same thing will happen with Deontay Wilder. So I would much rather have a secure location to watch this fight opposed to going all the way to the UK, spending anywhere between $1,500 American, $2,000 American per person to then be fucking outside the venue. I would have to clob somebody, really, for real.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But yeah, we can get to work on something. You can hit up Wilder, and he can maybe sort you something as well. Who knows? But I'll definitely get to work on that the minute we get an announcement. But the boxing community, we're getting close to a undisputed heavyweight title fight. So I'm excited. I know
we'll
AJ,
see. We'll see. Well,
AJ,
I don't see no contract.
Well, he's not going to send it to you. He's going to send it to Wilder. Don't worry. Get Wilder to copy you in on the email. But,
hey, believe me. Listen. I don't know. People claim they don't listen to this show, but when I did the show yesterday and we gave Wilder's quote, ESPN retracted their story. They said it was official. I said it wasn't. I said Wilder only accepted the terms. Then they had to retract that story. So I don't know. Yeah. I probably will be CC'd on the contract.
You should be. you have been Deontay Wilder's fucking promoter. Yeah, you're coming after Lou DiBella's job.
Yo, look at James. James Dorothy. Are you even a fucking Patreon? He's like, Ness is also a money penny pincher, not wanting to come to the UK. Dude, it's expensive as hell, man. I was doing it. Yo, flights right now without the fight being official are $750 American. That's crazy. I've never flown anywhere for $750.
It's a lot of money to expect, but I just think you know, the UK fans, had it been over there, we'll be there for the second fight or whatever, however it pans out. You know, we'll travel, but you know, times are hard for everybody. Maybe not, but I'm just excited. And I heard you yesterday saying like, oh, the AJ protectors and all the excuses are still coming, but
they are coming. You know,
this AJ protector is just glad that this looks like it's getting closer to happening. I just want the fight. And it will pan out however it pans out. But rest assured, I'll still be on the show. You'll still be on the show.
Yo, check out Benjamin Franklin in the chat. Mind you, his name is $100 bill, not mine. See, he's talking about, what's $750 to you? Nah, dog. Nah, you need to send me at least a quarter of that $750 you want me out there. Listen, it's not going to be easy, especially because, look, one of us going is nothing. We need to have the whole team there the way it was in LA. You know what I mean? This is a monumental fight. Like, we will be part of history. Like, you know, this probably won't happen again for however long it took for this one to happen in terms of undisputed heavyweights. Like, nah, this is huge.
I mean, I think Eddie said it when this all sort of rumblings began. And if you think back, that, like you said, being part of it, we had Eddie, we had Wilder, we had Finkel, all on the line, sort of thrashing it out and saying the first meeting kind of got arranged on TBV. So,
dude, we only gonna be more involved. You know what's gonna be epic? We gotta get you to get a day pass or a week hall pass, because when we do this camp life, which ESPN stole, fucking horrible. There's just like no credit in this industry. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no originality whatsoever. Despicable. But when we go do our camp live with Deontay Wilder, I mean, this one's gonna be epic. This one's gonna be crazy, bro.
Yeah. Well, I'll see what I can do. Work my magic. I'll try and get an AJ camp live. I'll get an AJ camp live going for TV.
Oh my god, that would be amazing. I would rather fly out for that than the fight.
Yeah,
I like camp lives better than the fight, bro. I mean, the fight is just too much. It's too much, you know, craziness going on.
Yeah, I'd imagine if you put that on Patreon first, Nez, I think you'll get more Patreon members if we can put it out on social media that you're coming for the AJ Camp Life and that he got in your grill like he did with Brazil. I think that would sell some Patreon numbers.
Yo, AJ would probably do exactly what he did to that little white guy who interviewed him in the ring.
Yeah, man.
Except he would be more aggressive because he knows how I talk. I'm sure they've told him. I'm sure he's heard one or two clips. And even if he wasn't serious, he would do it just as a joke to try and punk me. I could tell he's a cool guy. Check out Sam Spencer says, Ness, you're gonna have to pitch a tent in Rob's garden.
Oh man, we you know, if we can put the TBV banner away, we have got a spare room. It's just currently an office. You wouldn't need to be in the garden, bro. but yeah, I think everyone get excited. It looks like we're gonna get it, whether it's next or not. To me, kind of doesn't matter. I'd prefer it next. Obviously, Eddie mentioned American TV. Maybe they don't expect the American consumer to have to shell out for 2 pay-per-views in the same month. I don't know. But
yeah, I didn't even get that logic though, Rob. I mean, why is he worried about Canelo Alvarez fighting in September when this fight is not going to be US pay-per-view if it's happening in the UK?
Well, or is it? Is that maybe what
how
Ed is?
How do you sell us a pay-per-view from the UK? Like, that's never happened before. Our US prime networks usually pick up the rights. Like when Frotch fought whoever for 80,000 people, HBO picked up the rights. When AJ fights Joshua fights Joseph Parker, Showtime picks up some rights.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. Maybe this is going to land on DAZN and you're going to have to shell out that $20 for the app. You know, this is September, should be rolled out by then. This might be one of the 4 pay-per-view quality cards that DAZN is going to. Eddie
Hearn doesn't have the marketing dollars of ESPN. That's a horrible Bob Allen expression.
But yeah, maybe this lands on DAZN and you know, it gets pushed on American TV that way, and you've got to pay out for the app. I know people weren't thrilled about.
Shout out to Rick Fulton, man. He says Diaz, which is Jay Diaz, and Finkel, Shelly Finkel, the coach and manager, trainer, manager, and manager of Deontay Wilder, believe that the contract will come sometime today and something announced by Wednesday. This is per Boxing Scene. And Rick finishes his super chat by saying, funding that trip little by little. Shout out to Rick, really trying to get us to the UK. Listen, bro, I want an announcement. I'm going to Alabama for the press conference if they have it. I'm trying to go to as many press conferences as possible. I definitely won't be at the UK one with them $750 flights. But wherever else the city tour is, I'm going to try and make it, man. If they do a LA, I might go to LA too.
you know, UK TBV will get it covered for you, Nez.
Yeah, man. This is exciting.
Yeah.
This is exciting. I just want the news. Like, is it after Povetkin? Is it before? You know,
yeah.
What are they going to decide? Are they going to go ahead and say, look, man, we got 11 weeks, we got 12 weeks, we could just spend a little extra marketing dollars and still get the same bang for our buck and do it in September? Interesting.
Yeah, yeah. But again, just like yesterday, people show the love, hit that thumbs up. You know, Nez is up bright and early, bringing you the news, everything breaking. You know, TBV's across it, everything. So, yeah, hit the thumbs up, share the show. And thanks again for the super chats. It all helps. I'll catch you later. Maybe some more news later on. I think we are going to get the Calbrook news today, apparently.
It's taking forever. I mean, but I get Eddie. I get Eddie. This overshadows things like that. So you got to pick the right time to announce Calbrook.
Yeah,
with his broken faces news.
Yesterday, Eddie tweeted we'd either find out last night or it'll be today about Calbrook. So, or more details for the white Parker card as well. So, stay tuned. Click that little bell for the notifications when we go live. I'm sure something else will pop up today. Nez has got his mojo back. If you don't know why, maybe sign up to Patreon and listen to last night's Untitled show. But he's ready to work. We're putting that work in. So hopefully I can be on the show today as well on the panel instead of calling in. This is like the old days, Nez. I'm like a super fan. I'm calling in.
I know. Hey, it's good to at least have you. These solo dolos are not cool. I try to get it done, but it's not cool.
Yeah. I mean, you brought the show yesterday. You know, Matt's in dreamland.
Yeah. Sleepy time, Matt. I told him set his alarm. I told him this is going to be a daily thing. We're going to be doing TBV in the morning as daily as possible. News permitting. Don't forget, add Nestor Gibbs on Skype. Download the Skype. Absolutely free, both Android and iPhone. I almost forgot what was the other brand.
The brand. Forget.
Naja says, shout out to Nez getting his mojo back. Not yet, Naja. I'm trying. I gotta get it. I got it. I need to get it. What is in question. I gotta get what we will not speak of on the live show and only on Patreon. But Rob, let me let you go. I got a couple of callers over here. Before I get to them, I want to at least shout out our good sponsors, been rocking with us forever and are as innovative as us. El Camino, obviously specializing in electrical charging stations, you know, for the Prius owners of the world or the my future car. I mean, I probably will never get it, to be honest with you, because no matter how much money I make, I could never justify anything above $500 a month for a fucking car payment, bro. It's just impossible. But that being said, I really do love those Teslas.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Rob, before we go to any callers, I need your expertise here. Andre, our pound for pound supporter, in the super chat is saying, how long is the train ride from London to Cardiff if the fight was at Principality?
Train ride? I'm not sure. Never took a train there. It's not a great deal. Maybe by train, couple of hours, maybe.
All right, brother. Well,
something
thanks
like that.
again.
I'm not sure. I'm sure someone in the chat will completely jump all over that and call me stupid or something.
Hey, they can't call you stupid. You don't take public transportation. You have a car, so whatever. I think we're gonna go to Washington D.C. and I want to say this is Marcus in D.C. Talk to me.
Yo, what's good, baby? Good show in the morning. That's, you know what I'm saying, you're a one-man army, man, you know. So yo, check this out. You know what? I noticed what Hearn is saying, and I know what you're saying. Like he's trying to push it to like 2019. But what I really think he means is that he really wanted to promote this fight. Like they see this as their Mayweather versus Pacquiao from a monetary standpoint, and I really think that people are not taking into consideration that this is a potential cash out fight for Anthony Joshua, right? So the next 2 fights, because if he gets obliterated by Wilder, let's say in the first 4 rounds, and it looks like a non-competitive fight, there will not be a huge clamor for a second fight. So all this that Hearn is talking about is basically saying, I want 4 or 5 months to promote. I want the largest stadium to get the largest gate. I want a fixed fee for Wilder. I want all these things in place because if AJ gets clobbered, I have nothing. You know, I have this dazzling $1 billion streaming thing, and I don't have my top money maker to help push even 2 of the 4 pay-per-view shows that I have to do and the other 18 cards or something crazy he has to do. So this is a cash out fight for them. I mean, and not intentionally like Bob feeding Cotto to Manny cash out, but sort of like taking his top breadwinner and putting him on the line in a very, very dangerous fight. I mean, this is a very dangerous fight with Wilder for them. So funny you had just asked him about Principality. I was just looking, because it's retractable. Does Eddie eke some of that revenue at 15,000 seats shorter than Wembley to have it before the spring of next year? Because remember, he fought was it Molina in December before he announced the Vladimir fight in April. Another thing on that too, Les, that you haven't been mentioning is you could fly out there a week earlier and maybe take the train from another airport and stay at some little hostels out there for about 20 pounds a night and make it like TBV week. But the other thing you got to think about too, that people aren't considering when they just say fly out there for $7.24. The money exchange, once you get there, our money takes $1.50 to make 1 pound. So that's another part where it becomes expensive because our money exchange rarely in the world does it go down. This the situation right here, we're on the bottom of that. So it does become an expensive trip with the money conversion. But I don't know if I don't really think that Eddie's like doesn't want to do the fight. I think he's trying to maximize revenue because I think he understands this is a highly dangerous fight, man.
Marcus,
that's my call, man.
Is this a fight that is is this feasible for you as a boxing fan? Will you be able to attend this?
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Wow,
like in the UK, I don't know if I'm gonna make it in the stadium because I'm gonna be on Priceline and Hawaii, and I'm gonna be bidding myself, and I might have to take 2 fucking layovers. But I'm gonna put like a $500 limit on it and see what happens. Like somebody's gonna bite, and like I said, maybe I don't know if my ability. Now I'm gonna check that. But if you could fly out a week earlier, because it's like a lot of time with a holiday, a week earlier, the price is down lower. So that might be the way to do it versus flying in like the day before the fight. So, but on Priceline and some of those other ones, they give you the option like just bid. And sometimes those airlines bite, man. You might have 2 layovers, but fuck it, who cares? If I can get out there for less than $500, I'll go. You know, no question.
Now I'm with you.
500 for the flight.
Listen to me. I'm with you. I'm of that mindset. I've told people, friends, even co-workers before, yo, let's just go to be part of the atmosphere, even if we don't get in.
Absolutely.
And I've heard people say, I'm not flying all the way over there to watch it on TV. So what are you going to do? You don't get in. Where do you go? What do you do? What do you end up doing?
I'm outside with the rowdies. Who gives a like? Look, come on. At the end of the day, like unless it's like some Barclays where when we get out there, somebody's just throwing a ticket out for £100. I'm okay with being out. Like people act like everyone who goes to a soccer match at Wembley goes inside. They don't. The wild and crazies who don't go in are still there. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like you're missing the atmosphere. It's going to be huge. You're going to hear it. You're going to know what everything is on. They're going to have screens every fucking where. Like, this is what I think Eddie is envisioning, that Wembley or whichever stadium becomes not just inside the stadium, but the whole thing kind of becomes an experience. Like, so, I mean, I don't see anyone getting too cheap of an experience by not just being inside of the stadium. I'm sure that inside of the stadium energy is going to be palpable, but I just don't agree that if I were living in the UK, I would not go without getting in the stadium. But coming across the pond, I'm okay if I don't. If I can't get it all for under a G, I'm not going to do it. But if I can get there and stay somewhere.
Nah, you could get it off on the G because we seen its flights yesterday for $750. Direct.
Yeah, no, I'm saying like get there, stay, everything like close to like it might be like 1,200, but what I'm saying is like I usually work those mojos and get those flights. Like if I say to myself, if it's 724 now, if I say to myself, man, start trying to get a flight for 500, they solidify the date. I try to figure out how to get there a week earlier and figure out who I'm bunking with or how I'm gonna do it to get there a week earlier. Because I figure if I got $250 or $300 extra that I didn't spend on the flight, I got that to frivolously stay at different places and then even possibly get a ticket. So if I'm at 1,200, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So
definitely,
if I can minimize the amount on the flight, if I can minimize the amount on the flight, I expand more. Yeah, absolutely. Hit me. I'm trying to go.
For sure. We're going to stay in touch. I'm hoping to get enough TBV people to go out there so we can, do something together, man. Definitely do something out there together. I want to go. I haven't been to the UK ever, but I am exactly like you. I remember when I was married, bro, my wife always wanted to go to Europe, and I'm like, I'm never going anywhere where my dollar is less, especially when, I could just go to my own home country and my dollar is worth so much more. My American dollar is worth so much more. So, it's always been difficult, but this is going to get me to go. Like Colorado was never a state I ever wanted to go, but Brandon Rios fought Mike Alvarado. And at the time the state legalized marijuana, I was like, fuck it. This is my reason to go. So I went. Certain places, they're not really on my bucket list, but certain things could tip me in that favor. And Wilder Joshua is going to have me spending my pretty pennies because, again, I'm not trying. Doggy, that's going to be a tough one. You can't even get a deal. That's the saddest part. We're going out to Baltimore, 443-942. I have no producer rocking out early in the morning. Who's this?
Yes, sir. BMO's finest, Troy.
Troy, what's up, brother? I got my producer's not up right now. He lives in the West Coast.
That's cool.
Talk to us, man.
That's cool. I got a thought for you, man. I mean, because I'm a fan of both fighters for different reasons. But what if you could get enough fans and just get the pay-per-view and you could put it live on your show, right on your show?
I mean, because Eddie Hearn wouldn't
do that. YouTube show?
Nah, but Eddie Hearn wouldn't allow that. If it's going to be pay-per-view, they're going to do it on Sky Sports or Showtime.
I got that. I got that. But if you're paying for it, how's he going to stop you from doing it?
Oh, because copyright infringement. Copyright infringement. Immediately, the YouTube channel will flag it.
Right. But I figured it'll be some way to block, block those who didn't pay. Nah,
man, that would be revolutionary. Nah. That's very innovative. It just they haven't gotten there yet. That would be cool.
That was my thought, though.
That would be cool because I know what you're saying, though. I get your thought process. Let me give you a different scenario. See if we're on the same page. Okay. Hypothetically, if the Boxing Voice was a bar, you're saying buy the pay-per-view, charge people to watch it when they come to my bar, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. The difficulty with that is that YouTube is a open source platform. So even if I paid for the pay-per-view, I have no true way of blocking anyone out unless I paid for the pay-per-view and then put it in a private room and then only allowed the people who paid for the pay. I mean, it would be very difficult, Troy.
Right. I got you. But I got another question for you, man. Because I was listening to you since you started. You were playing little parts of his, his talk, right?
Interview.
Eddie Hearn?
Yes.
Right. The fact is, I'm probably one of your few callers that actually traveled with a world champion when I was younger, right?
Which champion?
So, I have an understanding. Simon Brown is my godfather.
Okay.
Simon Brown was welterweight champion back in the day. And I got lucky enough to travel with him when when he fought on undercard at Tyson Razor Ruddock. He fought another champion called Maurice Blocker, who was his best friend. But anyway, there's a lot that goes on behind closed doors that the fans don't know about. As soon as you said the fight might be in September, never gonna happen. If this fight happens this year, it'll happen in December. It'll be like, the turning of the new year type fight. It would never happen in September because, number one, you figure people always think about the training camp, but you got to figure the fight is a training, but they also got to come out of training camp, and promote the fight, right? And that takes a lot of time itself. You got to find a venue. You got to get an undercard. And the same thing that goes on, with the big people that fight, the same thing that goes on with the small fighters that fight. They got to agree on contracts, this, that, and the third. It takes a lot more time than what people think. It takes a lot more time, man.
I mean, 12 weeks that's normal. 8 weeks is a training camp. 12 weeks is normal, bro.
Not for something like this. Not for something like this. Because look how. Okay. Also, right, to answer your question.
Yeah. What about this, buddy? What about this?
Uh-huh.
What about this? The biggest pay-per-view in the world was done in less than 12 weeks. But you're gonna give me you're gonna give me an excuse.
Which was what?
Mayweather Canelo. Excuse me.
That took 5 years.
Excuse me. Mayweather McGregor.
That took over a year.
No, buddy.
That took over a year because they had no. Because remember,
listen, Troy. If you're gonna
flashback, because remember he offered
Troy. If you're going to use build up, this fight has over 2 years build up. We're talking about announcing the fight. Remember that Floyd. We're talking. Hell yeah, bro. My co-host's intro has Joshua verbally stating 2 years ago that if Wilder wants this work, he can get it. This fight's been building way longer than you like you said, you just started watching it. Anthony Joshua and fucking Joseph Parker. That was his last fight, bro. You're late to the game.
I didn't say that I just started watching it then. I did not say that. I didn't say that.
I thought you said that
yesterday. I didn't say anything like that.
I thought you said that yesterday. How many Joshua fights you been watching?
All of them.
And you telling me that when he got that IBF, you telling me that when he got that IBF from Charles Martin, Deontay Wilder wasn't down his ass already, talking about he want to unify, talking about he want to make his WBC belt a sister wife with Anthony Joshua.
Fighters always say that, but that's not build up. This is fighters talk. It's commonplace in the business, man.
Doggy. So then tell me what fight took a year worth of negotiation. What are you talking about then?
I just told you it was the Pacquiao fight, but we bouncing around, man. You gotta stick to the subject matter at hand, which is Wilder Joshua.
But that's what I'm saying.
Now, also, you threw a question out there real quick.
You're talking about no. We gotta settle this first. We can't just move on.
Okay.
You can't talk about build up. You can't talk about build up and make it seem like it's part of negotiations.
Build up is I tell you what build-up is. When you have two fighters that are actually face-to-face with each other that says, okay, I'm trying to fight you, you trying to fight me. Let's get it done.
That's a face-off. That's a press conference.
Any fighter could say that I want to fight so-and-so. Look how long Crawford has been saying he'll fight Spence and this, that, and the third. That fight ain't happening right now. Look how long Spence been trying to fight Thurman. That's not happening right now.
No, that's all build up. That's called build up. That's called build up.
That's called two fighters talking, man.
That's called build up. That's called letting the fans know and the general
that
public
you're willing to fight.
Yes, and the general public getting built up about that fight. So then when it's time to announce it, you don't need 6 months to promote it. You listen.
Okay.
There's no way I can't call you an Anthony Joshua protector, brother. You're telling me that the fight that's been brewing for 2 years.
You can call me anything you like, and I'm cool with that.
I know.
I'm cool with that.
But I want you to have my reasoning as to why. You're telling me a fight that's been brewing for 2 years or more needs more than 90 days to promote.
Okay, brother. I'm gonna agree with you. I'm just gonna agree with you, man, because at the end of the day, it's just gonna keep going on and on. But listen, man. You asked a question about you said that not Joshua Wilder's not getting anything on the back end, right?
That's what the contract
Ali
says.
didn't get anything. Yeah, Ali didn't get nothing on the back end to fight Foreman. Both of them signed a blank piece of paper. Neither one of them got anything on their back end. They signed a blank piece of paper with no contract.
If you've been listening to the show
for
a couple of years, you know that I am not a historian. So anything you tell me about that, I wouldn't know.
I'll be honest with you, man, because I've been blessed. I've got to, like I said, I got to travel with a champion. I got to sit down with older trainers and older cats that have been in business, been in boxing longer than I've been alive. I actually train at a gym that's owned by, a Hall of Famer in Baltimore, and I've been working with him for 17 years. So anytime he speaks, I shut up because I can't tell him anything, but he can certainly tell me a whole lot. So I don't need to speak when he speaks, and I just shut up and listen. And, that's how I learn. That is how I learn, man. But keep doing your show, man, even though I don't agree with 99.9% of what you say about Wilder.
Listen, you've been traveling. You've been traveling with a champ. And I'm not saying this to discredit.
A champ, right, go ahead.
I'm not saying this to discredit anything that you're doing. I'm telling you, I'm saying shit based off being with multiple champions in multiple camps. This is build.
You're also leaving out my age, though, brother. I'm 47. I was in the gym. Me and William Jaffe was in the same gym. Me and Sean Babe. Go ahead.
Age doesn't make knowledge, bro. Bobby Fischer was 13.
No. I'm not saying it's my age.
I'm
not saying it's my age. I'm saying it's my situation. I've been in the same gyms and trained in the same gym with Rahman, Jaffe, Sean Babe Mitchell, right? All these cats, Too Sharp from out of DC. All these cats and me all trained in the same gym together, and I watched them go through from the ground up to being champions. I even had the pleasure of meeting Eddie Fudge one time, and I shut the hell up and said nothing. I just listened to that man speak. He was the greatest trainer that ever lived, and I shut up and listened to him speak. So I have a whole lot more knowledge than you believe. I just don't,
I don't believe that you don't. I'm not saying that you don't have knowledge. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that because you know people doesn't mean that a fight needs more than 90 days to get promoted. Especially not this fight.
That's your opinion, brother. That's your opinion with other things that's involved with it.
That's Mayweather's
That's
opinion.
Your opinion.
That's Mayweather's opinion. You know what Mayweather
No,
did?
it's not.
Hold on.
That fight took 5 years.
Let me defend my statement. You continuously bring up Pacquiao. I don't give a fuck about Pacquiao.
I didn't bring up Pacquiao at all, brother.
So what other fight took 5 years?
I did not bring him up one time.
So what other fight took 5 years if you ain't bringing up Pacquiao? What other fight?
No. You asked the question. Listen to me. I understand that you boldly like to yell, but your question to me was name another big fight that took X amount of time. I said Mayweather, Pacquiao. I didn't bring up Pacquiao.
But that is my point. I am not bringing that fight up. I continuously try to make my point with the Mayweather-McGregor because of only one thing, Troy. There was 2 big fights brewing. Both of them wanted the September date. Mayweather purposely went against tradition of 90, 120 days of promoting, announced this fight, did an August 28th fight, and still did the record amount of pay-per-views in the world. So your narrative and Eddie Hearn's narrative about a fight needing more than 90 days is absolute bullshit. He still went in.
And I'm going to tell you what your bullshit is.
I'm not done.
Okay, go ahead.
He still went in, did 5 million pay-per-views. Canelo and Triple G still went in 2 weeks later or 3 weeks later and almost did 2 million. So both narratives were debunked. The first being that, you can't do a pay-per-view back-to-back. The second, actually 3. The second being that you need 90 or more days to promote. And the third, oh no, I said the second because it's doing 2 pay-per-views. Everybody was like, oh no, you can't do that. One is gonna fail. They both did tremendously well.
Cool, I understand, but you comparing a real fight between two real fighters, between one that was already set up, aka WWE style already. That fight with Mayweather and the other dude was not a real fight. That was something that they laughed about behind closed doors, and everybody knew what the outcome was going to be prior to that. All that other hype was just to sell the fight. We talking about two real fighters here, two real boxers. We're not talking about one who's a world-class boxer.
You look at the glass half empty. I'm looking at it half full. I'm looking at two heavyweights.
I'm looking at the fact of the facts.
I'm looking at two
heavyweights. You got Wilder and Joshua.
Heavyweights move the needle. This is what I do for a living. Heavyweights move the needle.
I agree.
More people watch heavyweights than welterweights.
I agree.
All right, then. So there's nothing to promote. This is self-promoted.
I agree.
Showtime's been putting Anthony Joshua on for the last 3 years to promote this fight. And you need more than 90 days? Bullshit.
I agree.
I call bullshit. I call a promoter trying to get more money. I call a promoter trying to squeeze as much as possible.
Why did he hold the contract for 4 weeks then? This is wild, I'm asking. Why did he hold it for 4 weeks or however long he held it?
I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you asked.
I agree.
I'm glad you asked. Because
be my guest.
I can counter that by saying, why the fuck did they hold the same? Let me finish. Why the fuck did they hold the same $50 million contract for the same 4 weeks?
Thank you so much. What $50 million contract? Did anybody ever hear? Did anybody ever see the contract? Did you hear dates? Did you have a venue? What's $50 million contract?
Troy, please listen to me. Listen to me. Do not go down the ignorant route because I will cut your time. I've given you more time than anybody. You listening to the show.
I understand that. I simply asked you a question. What contract?
Troy, hold on a minute. You either going to be a hardcore boxing fan and we're going to have a debate, or you're going to be an ignorant boxing fan. I'm going to mute you and go on to the next logical caller, because everyone that listens to this show, everyone that knows boxing knows that the contract was real. Everyone knows that I personally interviewed Eddie Hearn in New York City. He personally told me that the money is real. He believed everything. So for you to bring up this retarded narrative, I don't have time for it. I got other callers. So are you going to speak logic or are you going to speak bullshit?
Listen to what you just said, and I'm going to use your words. You said you spoke to Eddie Hearn. Am I correct about that, right?
No, you could go watch it on YouTube. Do that.
No. You just said you spoke to Eddie Hearn. I'm going to say yes. Okay, but listen. What I'm saying is, when someone says that they believe something is real and they don't see it, it doesn't necessarily make it real. Or what I'm saying to you is, where is this $50 million contract?
Brother,
where is it?
Brother,
nobody.
Brother, did you just find this show? Did you just find this show? How long you been listening to?
No, man, I've been listening for a while.
How long is a while?
My point to you.
How long is a while?
Here's my point. Man, I don't have dates. I don't have any dates. But my point is this: you have a $50 million contract. Nobody turns down $50 million unless you're Dave Chappelle. But you have this $50 million contract. But wait a second. You saying sign this piece of paper, and then we'll get you the money, and we'll give you the venue, we'll give you the date. That's not how business works, man.
You're so misinformed. I gotta let you go. I can't. You're so misinformed. This guy is ridiculous. He's got to be like fucking 4 months behind on these negotiations to still think that Team Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua don't believe the money exists anymore. Like, bruh. Get on fucking YouTube and educate yourself, all right? There's dozens of interviews that can update you as to where this is at. The money is real. We're so past Eddie Hearn saying, oh, they told us if we don't sign, we can't see the terms. They sat down. Barry Hearn sat down with Shelly Finkel. Stop it. Making me yell in the fucking morning. I'm up this early for you. And this is what you do? Jesus Christ, this guy. 718-838. Please be logical.
Hey, how you doing, Ness? How you doing?
Suleiman the Scholar, what's going on? What's going on, Suleiman the Scholar? Talk to us. Good morning.
Yeah, man. I'm just happy, man. I'm happy this fight is going through, and I'm calling because I got a question for you, man. Is that true that that there's a lot of animosity between Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. The biggest reason is because Joshua's a gold medalist and Deontay's a bronze medalist. Is the reason, biggest reason that there's like a lot of like aggression between both of them?
Man, I don't know that one.
You didn't hear nothing about him? That it doesn't irk Deontay Wilder that Joshua's a gold medalist at all?
I never asked him that. I mean, I could definitely try and ask that question. I wouldn't know though if it bothers him.
Yeah, you're good friends with him. Ask him that. I would like to hear what he has to say about that. Because what I heard is that irks him big time, where they got Joshua's a gold medalist and he's not. And also, thanks a lot for receiving my call. And my question to you also is the preparation for the training camp is going to be in England or is going to be here for Deontay Wilder?
Well, I'm sure he's going to hold camp in Alabama, then, go to England maybe 3 weeks.
What happened?
I said I'm sure he's going to hold his training camp.
He didn't tell you that either?
Can you hear me?
What happened?
Do you hear me?
You're not sounding too hold on.
Yeah. All right. So yes, he'll he'll train in Alabama and then obviously head to the UK maybe 3 weeks, 2 weeks before. I would hope 3 weeks so he could get acclimated to that time difference, that 6-hour time difference. Let's go out to Michael on Skype. Hey, Michael, what's up, brother? Good morning.
Doing all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, morning. Yeah, I'm good. I'm happy that this that he's agreed terms, and I'm happy that this contract is going to get signed, and I'm happy the fight is going to get made. So I'm guessing it's probably going to be by the end of the year based on stadium availability. I'm just looking forward to it now. Finally, everything can be put to bed. We can finally find out who is the best, and everyone's backing whoever they want to back, but. I'm just looking forward for this fight to happen. So I'm already looking forward to getting tickets as soon as it comes out. For the people from the States who want to come to the UK and get tickets, if it's in Wembley, you can get tickets for secondary for about £40, which is like, I don't know, conversion-wise, maybe $60 or something like that.
Damn, that's cheap. $60? Yeah. But where am I going to sit for $60?
Well, Well, you pretty much can guess. It's 95 to see your stadium, so you're probably going to be near God.
Shit, near God. That was a great one.
but if you guys obviously, I heard a couple of callers ago said he wants to come down and see the atmosphere, but obviously if he wants to get to the stadium, there's going to be ticket touts there selling tickets.
Someone in the chat said no way it's $60.
Yeah, it's 60. It's 60 because I went to the Parker and the Parker AJ fight in Cardiff, and I got a ticket for £40. So and that's how the pricing goes. Normally the pricing, if you're on Match Pass.
Damn, no wonder you guys selling out $40 fucking tickets, bro. We selling tickets over here for $1,500.
However, it is 90,000. So if you go from, let's say, from 1 to 20, then that's when you're getting the very high price.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. You get closer to that bowl, those prices are going to be a lot more.
Yeah, exactly. So and then it goes up from there on.
Somebody in the chat said you better have binoculars with those seats.
Yes, that's what you should do. You should. Yes, you definitely need it. That ring is small, but like if you're looking at hotels and stuff, you guys. I mean, obviously flights is the only big price, but other than that, once you've got over flight hurdle, then hotels and all that, it's going to be no problem. Especially if it's in Cardiff. Then you have no problems over there. You guys have a good time. You can do like.
Is it going to be wet though? Is it going to be wet or is it going to feel like summer?
God, if it's gonna be September, then maybe because summer's about to end, then maybe it could be nice weather. If it's in November, December, which they're talking about, then bring your brollies out, bring your wellies and your brollies. Then it's gonna be it's gonna be raining, but who cares, right? If the fight happens, who cares? hey, if AJ when AJ wins, it's gonna be happy all around. So it's all good. Drinks on me.
All right, brother. I have no clue what this chat is in the comment section. It's Dog 215 says, Ness, the dollar store in the UK is closing down. They love cheap. No clue. But I only read it because I'm a dollar store attendee. I love Dollar Tree. Let's see. Who do we got? Cincinnati, it's looking like 513-970. Who's this? Anthony? Nope.
Hello?
Yes. 513-970.
Hey, how you doing? Dr. Boy.
What's up, brother? Who's this?
The Dr. Boy? Oh, man, this DK, man. Got the fight going. Y'all say we got the heavyweight fight going on?
Yeah, it's looking that way, brother. Eddie Hearn saying he's going to be sending a contract to Deontay Wilder this week.
Okay, so what's the, is it a 2-fight deal or a 1-fight deal?
2-fight deal. Can you speak up, brother? Because it's very difficult to hear you.
I'm sorry, brother. You said he had to take so he had to take the lion's share in the A side of it. Did he get the rematch clause where he's getting the low stick on the rematch clause too?
Well, we don't have any of those details yet. There is a rematch, but no details are out.
Yeah, Ness, so what month they say the fight is happening?
If it happens this year, they're looking at October, November.
Okay, and you say you're looking at an early round stoppage?
Oh, I'm not looking at early round stoppage. Shit. How long did it take Deontay to do Ortiz? 9?
Yeah, 9 rounds.
Yeah, I mean, I think Joshua's, as durable. It's gonna be a lot of emotions in that fight. It's gonna be a lot of emotions in that fight anyway. But listen, you got a really bad connection. We can't hear you that good. I'm gonna get to some other people. I'm gonna go out on Skype to Nikki Stinko. Nikki going once. Nikki going twice. Nikki,
Can you hear me?
I was about to hit you with the bye-bye. What's up? We hear you.
Hello.
We hear you, Nikki.
How we doing?
We're doing okay.
I was people asking these silly questions. What we don't know what's going on yet with the contract and that. Just be happy the fight's made and we're on the right track.
Exactly, Nikki. Now that's what I'm talking about. All these people want to talk numbers. They want to talk purses. They want to. He should have took this. Why is no one happy that we're gonna get this?
I don't know. You don't know. $60 for a ticket. Well, you're not going to get a ticket for that, brother. Come on, mate. Like, people are just asking you silly questions, man. I'm just happy this fight's made this. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants this. We all want to see America against England. Let's fucking have it. You know what I'm saying? Do it in England. Do it in America. One each. You know what I'm saying? See what happens.
Totally agree, Nikki.
So let's just see what happens. I mean, I ain't gonna get no tickets for this. I know that, but I will be watching it. No, this is the biggest fight I think this in the last 10 years. It's gonna happen, and I must admit, when I first see it, I didn't think Wilder was gonna be able to match him, but I don't know now. It's gonna be so close. It's gonna be hectic. Wilder's shown he's got a heart, brother. I must admit, he's shown he had a heart, brother. He's shown he's got balls. You know what I mean? So it's going to be it's going to be a tear up. It's going to be a proper tear up. England against the fucking US. Let's do it. Let's have it, Ness.
Absolutely. Nikki, man, thank you. Have a good day over there. Afternoon out for you guys in the UK. We're going out to the 937-304. 937-304. TBV in the morning. Who's this? Good morning. Where you calling from?
What up? This is Lance. How you doing, man?
Lance, where you calling in from?
I'm calling from Raleigh, North Carolina.
North Carolina. How's the weather out there, brother?
Yes, sir. Hey, man, it's rainy, but I'm actually from the Midwest. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. So I moved down south to get some of these sun. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right, brother. Well, talk to us,
So,
man.
but
Heavyweight fight is in brewing here. Eddie Hearn saying he's sending a contract this week. Wilder yesterday on social media accepted the terms and sent formal emails via himself and his manager. I don't know if you've been listening for the whole ride. We played some Eddie Hearn audio, but where do you lie with this?
I feel like this. I feel like this whole entire time, I think Eddie Hearn and AJ have been stalling. And the only reason I feel that way is because I've been having conversations with other boxing fans, AJ fans. Nobody can give me a stylistic breakdown of how AJ beats Wilder. I can tell you why I think Wilder wins. I think his athleticism, his foot speed, his range. AJ doesn't move his head. So eventually when he rocks him to sleep with a jab, he going to throw the right hand on him and take his head off his shoulders. But I can't get a stylistic breakdown from anybody of exactly how AJ does it. Like he can't I don't think he out jabs Wilder. I don't think he moves better than Wilder. I don't think he has the heart that Wilder has. I don't think that he has the stamina that Wilder has. I mean, when you look at the physical attributes, I just don't see how people feel it's a competitive fight.
Well, let's hope that it happens, man, so that these dividing parties could finally have their day in debate. I want to thank you, obviously, for calling in. We're going to go ahead and wrap up this morning's show. Let's hope and cross our fingers as boxing fans for some more news. My associate producer is saying possible Kell Brook announcement, so we may be back. You never know. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel because we do spontaneous shows throughout. Remember, our regular days are 7 p.m. Eastern, both Sunday and Thursday. Thursday being our preview, Sunday being our review show. But again, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Ways you can support this show, obviously hitting the thumbs up, doing it right now. I'm actually changing it from 147 to 148. There we go. Where's the love? Who's going to change it with me? Show me the love. I moved it to 48. Let's go. Can I see something here? I'm refreshing the page, unless you guys are just ignoring me. All right, 150. At least two people. Okay, 153. Can I see 54? Do I see 54? Do I see 54? I don't have the good auction voice. But anyway, another way, obviously, you can support the show is dropping us a 5-star review on iTunes or Stitcher.com. Because this podcast could be found there, as well as on iHeartRadio, Spreaker, Blog Talk Radio, and wherever podcasts are found. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel at youtube.com/ThaBoxingVoice and the backup channel, youtube.com/Nestor Gibbs. We had our episode of Untitled on our members only platform, patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. It was released late last night. Great episode, getting good reviews. If you haven't checked it out, definitely head on over there. For more reasons than just that one episode, we have Standing 8 Count with Matt the Hipster Hunter. We also have Border Wars, seasons 1, 2, and 3, I believe, on there, as well as Overtime and numerous member-only topics where we just kick it, congregate. You can bring up your own topics. And there's Perks, Ringer, which gets you to cut the line. No more waiting in line if you got something to say. Boomerang, which a guy like Troy, you need to really go to patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. You might want to get a boomerang because 3 minutes is definitely not enough for Troy, and it allows you to come back, especially when other callers who hear your calls, turn around and implement you into their calls. It might, I don't know, entice you to want to come back and get it off your chest. I don't know. But there's other perks, We got Patreon-only shirts, Podcast King only shirts for our Patreon members only, TBV koozies, just so much more. But at the end of the day, what you're doing is supporting your favorite podcast. Takes a lot of time and energy to put out episode after episode. I'm putting in hours, so it's me and an empire. So remember, this is a fan-driven show. Your donations are always welcomed, but we just giving you numerous ways to support this show
90 seconds
without having to spend $1. You could also go to ThaBoxingVoice.com/affiliate sponsors. And anytime you're doing any Amazon shopping, use our affiliate link. It'll cost you absolutely nothing, but they'll give TBV a kickback. And that's another way to continue to support the show. I am your host, Nestor Gibbs. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at NestGTO.
60 seconds.
Until the next time, peace.